turning over in their grave right now. Eric, look, he telling them who to shoot. Eric, our ancestors turning over in their grave right now. Our ancestors turning over in their grave right now, Eric. Look at me in my eyes, bro. Hey, look at me in my eyes. Look at me in my eyes, Eric. Eric, you know what your daddy's saying right now? You know how your daddy feeling right now? That could have been you. That could have been you. And you bitch, cuz. Stop me in my hand, bro.
A teen, a protester, a young person was shot with a projectile from the police for peacefully protesting. Okay, he got 3.75 million for the insanity of the cops. Let's put him up full mass. A jury awarded 3.75 million in damages this week to Asim Jamal Shakir Jr. He's a young film MA protester, filmmaker and protester, who also was shot twice by hard foam projectiles. This is fired by the LAPD. They've been in trouble for this before. They're still doing it. And what is thought to be the biggest award yet in lawsuits stemming from the department's response to anti-police demonstrations in 2020. They were having a good time just shooting at random people. After deliberating for 13 hours, jurors on Wednesday ruled that the department was negligent. They thought they could persuade a jury. Jury said, no, the department is negligent. When one or more of his officers fired the so-called less lethal devices at the young man during a protest at a downtown intersection. Remember, there was no reason to fire at all. Shakir had been filming a skirmish line of officers when he recognized his LAPD officer uncle, okay? His uncle standing among the formation and confronted him shouting, quote, "Our ancestors are turning over in their grave right now." Moments later, Shakir alleges his uncle, Eric Anderson, directed other officers to fire a hard foam projectile at him, his own uncle, according to him. The attorney, Douglas Hicks Law, as with anything Brother Money talks, say legitimate, long time, and some would say legendary civil rights attorney Carl Douglas. Douglas, who filed the suit on Shakir's behalf, hopes the large award will signal to department and city leaders that similar acts of police violence cannot be tolerated. The city can still appeal the court ruling. An internal affairs investigation found 11 officers within 20 feet of Shakir when he was struck. 20. But 11 came to him. 11 officers, with 20 feet of Shakir when he was struck. But every one of them denied knowing or seeing or shooting anyone who was filming. They also said they shot nobody twice. None of this happened. The department's investigation revealed that the less lethal force that injured Shakir was never reported either. Douglas said, but his defense team sought to reconstruct the events of that day with video from a body camera and an Instagram live stream. Let's put them up. So based on their analysis, they concluded the LAPD officer, Robert Betchol, fired at least one of the, as they call it, less lethal rounds that struck the young man. On the day of the incident, Shakir had joined a group of protesters marching in downtown LA carrying 2 cell phones and recording himself. He approached every black officer he saw, urging them to shed their uniforms and join the cause. All of that is perfectly legal, sir. I applaud him. In his Instagram live stream, Shakir can be heard trying to engage his uncle and yelling questions at other officers nearby. According to his suit, Anderson can be heard on the body camera video saying, "That's my nephew, and I'm going to be on his ass if he doesn't get out of here," before apparently motioning in Shakir's direction and directing an officer to shoot him. Shakir was struck once, then a second time while he was bending down to pick up a phone that had been knocked out of his hand by the first projectile. That's according to the suit. This young man, his attorney said, had to go to physical therapy for a year because of the injury to his hand. And the lawsuit alleged that he still suffers pain and has had to let go of two of his favorite pastimes, boxing and shooting music videos, because he can no longer grip a camera. In addition to the physical injuries, Douglas said, the encounter left Shakir emotionally bruised as well. The city is still facing a large class action lawsuit by Black Lives Matter Los Angeles and other groups over its handling of the 2020 protest, which was insane. Several suits have been settled. We've talked about a couple of them on the show. Senator, once again, anytime a cop defunds the police, nobody from defund the police, nobody from the conservative side against defund the police will say a word. It's as if they prefer police to defund the police. They like it that way.
Yeah, it's not their money. When you said you hope the department learns a lesson, they not. It's not the first time, it won't be the last time, because it's the taxpayers' money.
That's right.
Going towards paying these lawsuits. That's why they're not gonna get a clue. And with uncles like that, I'm thinking, damn, Unc, really? This is why you do your nephew, just pull him to the side. The uncle probably was embarrassed. He got all up in his feelings. And then he directs people on the force to do what they did to his nephew, which they should have refused to do.
Right.
And then lastly, I got a kind of different take on this young man. I don't think, even though what he did was perfectly legal in terms of freedom of speech, but to me, approaching the black officers, telling them to shed their uniforms, that's something that should not have happened. I mean, I don't think he should have taken that tack. He took it. He didn't deserve to be shot with anything for doing that. But I don't think that's the right way to approach that. I mean, we do need black law enforcement officers and others who have a consciousness now, not because just because you're black, I mean you have a consciousness. Right. But I don't think he should have approached it that way. He did. He didn't deserve what he got. That's right. But I just got a different feeling about how he went about this. And our ancestors rolling over in their graves for lots of reasons.
Yeah.
And that might be one of them, but there's some others.
Absolutely, and that's a nuanced dynamic, right? But the other side would simply go all the way, protect the police at all costs. And then there's this other narrative that emerges, but definitely your uncle telling somebody to shoot at you, and they do it.
That's foul.
Talking about.